What's up, guys? It's Eventon here, and I've been looking at my Z kill board recently, and I've noticed that I've been pretty active with the Dark Venture Corporation. I joined about almost a week ago, and I think I've killed more things in the last 7 days, like ISK-wise, than I have in the whole last year combined. And that doesn't include, like, the meme kills with CCP developers that, fly big blingy ships for them to purposely die. And things like that. But these are actually hard-earned kills. I've been flying around with the guys. I've been learning a ton of stuff. I actually have some footage for you guys on some of these kills. I don't believe I have them for all of them, but I'm going to try my best to record this and maybe make this like a bi-weekly thing where I just kind of briefly cover some of the PvP fights that I've been in recently and just covering them very briefly and just be as objective as possible. I'm even going to show the ones that we didn't necessarily win, but there was definitely a valiant effort, just so I don't know. I've never been a huge fan of people that just do nothing but the highlights and show like the great points. I think occasionally if there is a huge effort and we might have fallen up short, but there were some small wins here and there, I definitely think that's also worth posting as well. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. Hope you guys enjoy the footage. All right, and to get started off, this was like day 2 or 3 of me being in the corporation. We actually got called by another corporation to go ahead and take out a roar call. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because we ended up not killing this one. Spoiler alert. Our job was to just strictly just bring the damage, and that's exactly what we did. We had to eat through a lot of cat boosters on this roar call, and this is like the 4th or 5th time I've ever seen a roar call, let alone try to kill one. So this was really, really exciting stuff. We ended up trying to take this thing down for like an hour. It would have been much, much shorter if we got our Balgorns out there a bit sooner, as well as if this guy didn't have so many freaking cat boosters. And so we ended up taking it down. We get a couple cool shots. And it wasn't up until this point, we get it down to structure, and this guy starts whelping in a bunch of haulers full of cat boosters. And so basically, he's bringing in these haulers, whether they die or not, or whether he's able to get the trade-off. He ended up looting some of the cat boosters from these haulers. And this guy whelped like anywhere between like 9 to 11 haulers just to keep himself alive. And with the other corporation that called us in to help bring the damage, they ended up losing some of their guys. And before we knew it, it was just us by ourselves. And so we ended up not getting the kill, but it's kind of nice to know that other corporations do rely on us to kind of help bring damage and bring some content. So I found this to be super exciting, even though it didn't work out in our favor. All right, and on this one, I was actually called in to, a lot of us were actually called in because we saw some activity on the other side of this small wormhole, meaning that only small ships can fit through. So frigates and destroyers only. And that's probably one of my favorite things when it comes to some wormhole PvP is that no 2 fights are the same. Sometimes you're regulated by how many people are online, what you're up against, what type of wormhole it is, what size ships are available at the time to fit through the wormhole. So like I said, it's a small wormhole, so there's no cruisers, battle cruisers, no battleships. When things are this close quarter combat and everyone's flying frigates and destroyers, it's pretty much like a knife fight, and things can happen very quickly. And so at this point, we go in, and this is kind of one of the things why I want to record this footage. It's not just like, oh, hey, wormhole combat and like the Dark Venture, corporation is great and I'm enjoying myself. Also just my personal journey of PvPing and just understand how to work within a fleet. They were making some calls that maybe I wasn't initially necessarily following, but I just really wanted to spread points and start orbiting something because I'm in a Condor and I really, really enjoy these ships. I really like the Condor and the Kestrel, kind of more kitey things where I can kind of dictate the distance and where I can kind of get off and stuff. And I notice he starts burning out. I'm like, okay, cool. I want to keep my point on him. He starts doubling back at this point. I want to try and get, for some reason, I should have known he's not a micro warp drive fit. So I don't know why I burned into him to try and land a scram on him. That was totally unnecessary. And this is just some of the very small nuances of PvP that I'm still trying to understand. So even when he's burning away like this, I'm running at him in a straight line, which is very dangerous, but I did not want to break that disruptor range on him. So as you can see here, I get way too close, like way too close. And so he starts applying really, really well. And this is kind of why I start putting up some of my manual piloting. I just start orbiting him, trying to keep up my transversal and making sure I'm not getting hit too hard. But at this point, there's a couple times where I started getting like within 10, and that's when he starts applying like within 12. And that's when he starts applying like really, really well. And again, I don't know why I'm trying to go in and apply my scram. I mean, I'm already getting hit really hard. I'm in a Condor. I should be maintaining distance as well. So at this point, I start going down, but we ended up still getting the kill on the Retribution. Someone else got a point and a scram on it as well. So we did that, finishing it off. So I think that's a worthwhile trade, a Condor for a Retribution. And this next one is, we're actually going through Pochven, mainly because with the recent update, they actually lifted the restrictions on the Triglavian gates out in Pochven, that you have to have a certain standing. Now pretty much anyone can go through the gates. I think as long as you're any kind of positive, you should be fine, as long as you're just not negative to the Triglavians. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyway, there's probably about 20 of us online. We said, hey, why not just get in a bunch of T1 and T2 frigates, go through Pochven and see what we can gank. And we got a tip that this is a very, very active system. So we ended up going through here. As you can see, there's probably about 7 or 8 bubbles on the other side, just waiting for people to go through. And at this point, we're in nothing but T1 and T2 frigates. And right now we are trying to tackle some destroyers, battle cruisers, cruisers as well. And so I start making my way over to the Manticore because that was the call. I think that one ended up going down. The next closest target was just this Absolution. I start burning towards it. And at this point, my ship was slower because I ended up taking a drug that ended up having like a side effect of me like getting like 20% slower, which was like really, really obnoxious. And I start closing in on this Absolution. I get yellow boxed and now I'm red. And at this point, I should be building up my transversal instead of just going straight at it. And I start getting hit very, very hard. I am in a Hawk right now. And right now I'm like checking my ranges and everything like that. I start panicking. Should I press the assault damage control or not? I ended up starting getting some remote reps here from my good friend. And so eventually we are able to ECM jam this guy because the damage stops pretty soon here. So I start repping up. And at this point, once he breaks the lock, I know I am pretty much safe. And so we start overeating him and start taking him down. Jackdaw does come in here and I can't reach him at that point. But this is kind of the fun PvP stuff that I really enjoy doing. You know, we ended up started going to Triglavian space because now they lifted the restrictions on some of the standing gates. That was a lot of fun. But at this point, I just really sped this up because it took a while to have a bunch of T1 and T2 frigates take down a buffer fit Absolution. So that ended up taking a while. But all in all, after the whole roam, we ended up roaming around for probably about, I would say like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. Some of these roams, you really lose track of time because it's pretty exciting stuff as we're roaming around trying to find things to kill. But all in all, after the roam, I'll probably show the Z kill board stuff here towards the end. But we ended up killing about 2.5 billion worth of stuff on this roam. And I think we only ended up like losing 2 ships, one to an actual player and the other one to some NPCs that were like camping the gates and stuff. So this whole roam was a lot of fun. All right, and this next one, I actually ended up getting in on a Vindicator and a Vargur kill, which is some pretty exciting stuff. And I think at this point, I'm going to let my court mates take the rest of this video. I am giving away a Procurer skin, which I literally got just the other day, and I want to give a bunch of them away in this video. So down in the comments below, I'll need your in-game name. And what do you guys think about this PvP content? Do you guys have this kind of variation in your PvP fights from day to day when it comes to when you guys are playing EVE Online? Let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to fly safe.
Yep, everyone get on that bug.
Okay, so don't worry about tackle. Tackle, stay alive. That's your job, is stay alive, tackle. He might, I mean, he's probably not polarized, so he may be able to jump in.
I need cap. Leskin Romero, I need cap.
They're bailing. They're bailing. Vedmax bailing.
I need. Okay. I can't go with I. Ramiro, give cap to Ness.
No.
I'll give cap to Tim.
Yeah, I've got one on Ramiro, one less.
Ness, give it to me.
Cap's coming over, Ness.
Okay, my Astero is going to hold on the other side in case the Vargur jumps back through.
Nice. Somebody rep my capsule.
Boost up. Going for a bump on the Vargur.
He's hurting, man. He's hurting. Keep DPS up.
Hole is still stage 1, so we're good.
Overheat,
Don't worry.
don't worry.
Pontifex.
Somebody get a scram on him.
Yeah, we need tackle. Scram the tackle. That's your job.
Overheating. Nice, boy.
Scram on Pawnee. Scram on Pawnee.
I got a scram on Pawn.
Friendly jumps coming in. Friendly jumps.
Don't forget to broadcast for reps, guys.
If you don't broadcast, we can't see you.
Good work.
we doing? How we doing? I have no idea. Oh yes, let him keep whelping. Come on. Is the Barker
Overheat,
down?
overheat.
Barker's not down.
Got a friendly curse on the field now.
I'm gonna go get some more. What do we need?
Valgorn is about
Okay,
a minute
I'll
out.
bring it. Okay.
Watch mass on hold.
Yeah, it's still stage 1. I think we're.
Do we want to switch DPS and get that Vindy off the field real quick?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Just
they have no
make
Rex.
sure you have scrams
Varga's
on the
cracking,
Varga.
Varga's cracking.
Okay, Vargas cracking. Stay on him then.
Swap to the Vindy as soon as he pops.
Nice, boys.
DPS
Good
on the
Fuck
Vindy.
it.
Magni.
No,
Don't celebrate till the
still
fight's
going.
over.
I've got point on the Vindy for now.
He's on the hull. Bump, bump, bump.
He jumped through.
Okay.
Curse needs reps.
He jumped. He jumped.
DPS.
Okay. So I
He didn't
have
jump,
the
he didn't
Astera
jump,
on the.
he
other.
DPS.
The Vidmax
He didn't jump.
Vindy's the
Kill
other
bird,
way.
kill.
Burning.
He's
I do have an Astera on the other side. Be aware, so I can tackle him on the other side. Do we have a spare like scepter or something on?
I have
that can
point
jump?
on Vedmak.
whoever's got a spare second, get the
No,
loot
I don't
from
have
that Varga.
Going for it. I'll get the loot really quick.
Keep in mind broadcast
He
reps.
jumps.
Vindy jumped. Vindy jumped.
Okay, I will call tackle on anything that jumps through. Yeah, I see the activations.
That's
Bolt
amazing.
activations. Okay, that's fine.
That's us. I couldn't get all the loot. Somebody get the rest.
It's a
He's
lot.
smacking
Di-
us,
Point
Vedmak.
Vedmak.
Not everybody jumped through. You put yourself on a timer.
like which one of them jumped through?
The Vindy.
Yeah,
Vindy,
Vindy.
Vindy
Oh, the
jumped through.
Vindy. Okay, copy.
Tice, you
You
want to
got
get
a
back
good
to this
split,
hole,
boys.
mate, you're far off.
Scram Vindy. Scram Vindy. Scram Vindy.
Scram.
Nice.
Whip as well.
He's fucked. He's so
Decent.
fucked.
People
He's
hold
fast
this
though.
side.
He's fast.
He might
He's
jump.
fast. He might get
Hold
it.
this side, he might jump back.
Yeah, he jumped. He jumped.
Get ready to tackle this Vindy as soon as it decloaks. Our thumbs here, we're fine.
Hold reduce.
Whole mast. Whole
Hold
mast.
reduce.
Watch
Nope.
map.
Nobody.
There he is. Get him. Get him.
Kill that Vindy, guys.
Scram.
Good job.
Nice.
Bifrost incoming.
Nice.
Too late.
Too far off.
He's off. He's off.
Okay. Again.
Right, fleet, walk back to home, go home. Good job.
So that was slightly over 5 billion that we just killed.
Very
They're
nice.
a bunch of pores.
Nice, good
What do
job.
we lose?
Fast form too.
So we lost
Tackle.
Stiletto, Malediction, Bifrost, and that
That
was the,
We're
the
fucking
tackle.
awful.
That is
That
the
was
way
just-
you do it.
That was the tackle, just fucking going in as fast as possible, trying to keep that dude there from warping off.
I think
We
we
lost-
fucking failed. We lost
We
the
lost-
ships.
True, it's true.
Hang on. We lost a slasher as well.
Oh, no.
I
Oh,
don't
so-
think he
That's
was, he was not involved in that particular skirmish.
You guys got a Varga kill while I was gone? Fuck
He's
you.
got a Vindicator too.
Some
at the
Carson.
same
Oh,
time.
bad time to come back, Carson.
Damn it, I needed a
Really
shower.
bad time.
Yeah, we
I
waited.
know you like those classic wormhole fights. That was classic.
We waited all day for this.
All about it, my Drake Navy DPS bitches.